Welcome, welcome, welcome. As I said, I started a bit early to get the preamble done, but we are here. And we are going to be talking about some business topics. I figured this would be a nice little thing to do. You know, I have this business degree I've been working towards, so might as well put it to some use, and hopefully I can spread a little bit of my knowledge to you guys and give you my opinions on a business perspective, because you've obviously heard it from creators' perspectives, you've heard it from other users, content creations, all these sorts of things, but I want to talk to it about business. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be sitting down, we're going to be talking today about Twitch and the recent announcement they made regarding their partner changes and how that change can affect them in terms of a business sense rather than just from a creator sense. Yeah, I hope that is the goal that we're going to get across today. Let's talk about partners. So for those of you who are a bit out of the loop, which assuming that most of you use Twitch, you're probably not, but I'll still go through it just in case. In the past week, there was an announcement that was released talking about Twitch and how Twitch would be making changes to their partner system. But of course, in order to talk a bit about that, we should talk a bit about what the partner system means, because there may be some people who are just viewers of Twitch. They don't know what it really means to become a partner and do all these sorts of things. So let's start there. So basically, in order to get partnership, it's a way to sort of verify yourself and to make you sort of stand out amongst the other creators. Because if you don't know, Twitch has hundreds and hundreds of creators, even thousands to millions of creators. And a lot of them are pulling all of these smaller streams, kind of like what I'm doing here. But in order to sort of help you stand out from the crowd, they introduced a new system known as the partnership system. And so how the current partnership system works is you need to meet 3 requirements over a period of 30 days. And if you can meet these requirements, then you are eligible to sign up for the partner system. So those 3 requirements for the partner are: you need to stream at least 12 days out of the 30 days. You need to stream for a total of 25 hours. And you need to average at least 75 viewers over those 30 days. So those first 2, those are easy ones to get. You know, if you put your mind to it, you spend a couple hours a day for 12 days just doing streams, anyone can do these 2 here. This is the big one here, 75 viewers. Because in order to reach these numbers, that's a lot. If you look at graphs before, which have shown like how many viewers the average Twitch streamer gets, then you'll know even reaching this number of average of 75 viewers, that is an insane number to reach. It may not seem extremely big, but compared to what the average person actually gets, that's an insane number. And what are the benefits for the system, you may be asking? Well, we have them right here. Obviously, you get your verified user badge, so that way anyone who sees you, they know you are a Twitch partner, you have experience with the platform, you're verified, so Twitch trusts you to do good things and it'll allow other people to sort of trust you. That's a lot. It is a lot. You also get some better monetization options, which includes better splits on things such as subscriptions and donations. You also get more options in terms of sort of putting yourself out there, such as partner spotlights, where you can get a little spotlight on like Twitch's homepage to shout you out. You can do squad streams, which allows you to stream with other creators. And you also get a bunch of other quality options for the channel, which are really nice. And it's kind of weird that they put this behind a partnership system, but it's their company. I can't make the decisions for them. Must be streaming the latest popular game to get that amount. It could be. Or you could just, a lot of people who get big on Twitch, they're also big on other platforms like YouTube or TikTok or whatever. If you have pull from somewhere else and it's big enough pull, you can make that. You can take those numbers and you can pull them over to Twitch. That's why a lot of Twitch streamers you see, they'll also have YouTube channels, they'll have TikTok accounts, they'll do Instagrams. Also, they can reach a bigger audience and pull them to Twitch. Yeah. But we're obviously not talking about this today. Today, we're talking about this tweet. This is a tweet that went out last week, and this is all about the changes that Twitch is currently considering for their partner program. I say considering with air quotes because there is a high probability that they have already decided that these are the changes that are going to be going through, and nothing can really change their opinion on that. So let's look at these changes. So the first one is an incentive for more ads. We've got a change in the revenue split for subscriptions, going from 70% to creators to 50% for creators. We've got new tiers system, which is unknown what that is. It just mentions it. We don't really know what it's talking about. We have no more exclusivity deal, which is a big thing. And we also have, and the note that the changes are likely to be implemented by the summer, which is right around the corner. That's only about 2, maybe 3 months away. We could be seeing these changes. So now, let's talk about these a bit more in detail. First, we'll go over the one positive thing I think is about these changes, which is the no exclusivity. So basically, when you become a partner on Twitch, they make you sign sort of a contract. I have questions regarding what the rev split and exclusivity. That's why I have slides that discuss each of those points. So you're in luck, because I'm helping you out. Yeah, so normally for what the exclusivity means is when you become a partner on Twitch, a part of your sort of partner contract is that when you become this partner, you will be doing streams exclusively on Twitch. So all of your streaming content, it's all going to be done on Twitch. You can't go to things like YouTube or Facebook Live. Any streams you want to do, they have to be done on Twitch. You can't do any other third-party platform. It has to be Twitch. So removing this exclusivity allows for a bit more freedom. It means that even if you do have this partnership on Twitch, that still means that you can go over to places like YouTube Gaming or Facebook Live, and you can do streams there. And you may be asking, why would you want to do that? Well, because there's different viewer bases. Not every person is going to go to Twitch. Not every person is going to go to YouTube. Not every person is going to go to Facebook Gaming. Each of these little of their own platforms have their own audience. So by removing this exclusivity, you can try to branch out into these other avenues, start up streams there, and then hopefully bring those users over to Twitch. Now, it's a bit of a negative. I think there are negative points to this. It's not as positive as people are making it out. The biggest negative I would say for this is it becomes a effort of dividing your time. Like, say I'm a Twitch partner, and the exclusivity is removed, and now I want to also do streams on YouTube, so I could try and pull more of a YouTube audience for streaming. That now means that I have to divide my time between 2 different platforms. I have to do streams on both of these platforms. I have to decide when I'm going to be doing Twitch, when I'm going to be doing YouTube. What one do I want to prioritize now? Do I want to prioritize keeping my current audience, or do I want to prioritize building a new audience? And so you're dividing your time between multiple platforms, and while it may help you build some growth across these different platforms, it's also going to hurt in order to try and keep your Twitch audience. Because if you go for a long time, and you're doing this for like months, a lot of people are just not going to tune into your YouTube streams from Twitch because they're like, oh, I'm used to Twitch streams. I'm just going to stay here and watch Twitch. There's no point in me going to YouTube. I only want to watch this on Twitch, and they won't go to YouTube. It's a big thing that some streamers had problems with when they transferred over to YouTube from Twitch. It's the fact that if they have this audience on Twitch, there's not a guarantee that this audience will follow them to their YouTube streams because it's a different platform. And even though it may be the same content, the fact that it's in a different location is a big change for them. So I think there are negatives to this. I think there is a positive step, but I think there are negative elements to this that makes it not that big of a deal. And when you combine this with all the other negative changes, I think this little addition is basically negligent in terms of the entire contract. So I would say it's not as big as some people are making it out to be in terms of positive, but I would definitely say that there is some positivity to this change. The next change we are going to be talking about is the incentives for increased ads. So as you know, for partnered streamers and for affiliated streamers, Twitch will run advertisements onto their streams. And then depending on how many views they get on these ads, Twitch will pay out the creator some form of compensation for that. So yeah. So now you may think, oh, getting more ads, that's good because that means that the creator will get more money from it. But it's not as good as you might think, because when it comes to something like this, obviously when you're looking at ads, trying to watch an ad in between like your normal series and it breaks that entire concentration on what you were doing, you know that's a negative thing. That's why a lot of people switched off from doing things like cable TV, because with cable TV, you're trying to watch this 30-minute program, but it's actually 20 minutes, and then they have like 10 minutes worth of ads. And so all these ads come in to break into this normal viewing program, and it's a big problem. That's why when you see a lot of streaming services like Hulu that offer options for viewing, they'll offer an ads option or an adless option. So that way you can go to the adless option for a bigger price, but you don't have to have that cutoff anywhere. So trying to increase these ads is kind of going to hurt viewer retention, because if I'm a new viewer and I say some streamer catches my eye, I'm like, oh, they're doing something very cool, or they're doing something that I like, maybe I'll go watch them. And then I have to sit there and go through 2 minutes of ads just to start watching their stream. That's not something positive, and it's gonna hurt trying to pull in these new viewers. And for normal viewers who may be viewing without a subscription, either because they don't want to buy one or they don't have the money to buy one, they're going to be sitting there and they're going to be getting more of these ad breaks in between the stream, and it's just going to be ruining all their time. They may say, who cares about this? I'll just go watch YouTube videos instead, or I'll just go on Netflix instead. So I think the idea with this is to try and increase monetary benefits, of course, but the monetary benefits seem to be more beneficial to the platform rather than the creator, because the platform is always going to get more views from this, because it's going to be a matter of the company will pay Twitch to show their ad, and then if the creator, say, has 100 people view their ad, they'll get a couple cents from what they saw. So this is definitely for Twitch's benefit and less for the creators' benefit. I think the creators can definitely get some benefit out this, but I think overall this is going to be a sort of change that is going to hurt the creators. Next up, we have the new revenue split. So essentially, when you buy a subscription, right? You buy a $5 subscription to whatever Twitch streamer you watch. How it normally goes, if that person is an affiliate, is they will split that in half. $2.50 will go to that creator. The other $2.50 will go to the platform itself, will go to Twitch. For some partnered streamers who have shown a lot of retention, they get a lot of viewers, they pull a lot of subs, Twitch will allow them to take a better cut. In the case that we're looking at, which is something that they brought up, it is a cut of a 70-30 split. So instead of getting 50-50, 70% will go to the creator, and then 30% will go to the platform itself. So now Twitch is trying to revert it so that way now everything goes back to a 50-50 split. So there's no more 70-30, there's no more of these any boosted effects. It all goes back to everyone gets the 50-50 split, no matter what. Whether you're pulling tens of thousands of viewers per stream, whether you have a couple hundred viewers, whether you have 10 viewers, you're all going to get the same amount. And this is notable because it also comes after a long period of many streamers asking for better splits. For a few years now, it seems that lots of Twitch creators, both small and big, have been trying to talk to Twitch and look for better splits. Because a 50-50 split is actually on the low end. Some other platforms will give things like a 60-40 split, or they will give a 70-30 split, but Twitch is stuck at that 50-50 and they want more. And now that a lot of partners are going to be losing their better splits for a half-half split, that's going to affect them negatively, because no matter how big a streamer is, when you have to drop this 20% of your income so that way you can give it away to the platform, that's going to hurt anybody, no matter how big of a sub count you have. That's a negative all the way around. So yeah, this is a benefit to no one but Twitch, the platform itself, and that's the big thing that seems to be with all these changes. So now you may be kind of asking yourself, why are they doing this? With the advertisements, it's benefiting Twitch for money. With the revenue split, it's benefiting Twitch more. With the exclusivity, it's kind of a positive for us, but mainly a lot of these changes are benefiting the platform. And same with a lot of changes that we have seen in the past. We've had additions like the Twitch hype train. We've had additions like higher sub badges that go up to gifted subs up to 5,000. We have, these little subscriber celebrations where creators will get rewarded for pulling in a certain number of subs. We have the boost option, which will promote you if you boost the channel. Why is Twitch making all of these decisions? Well, the answer to that should be pretty simple. But the answer to that is not something that a lot of creators want to see. Because when you look at how creators are responding to this, you can see that pretty much everyone is having negative response to these changes. All of these changes are not something that the platform wants to see. They want better for themselves and not better for Twitch. So when Twitch only puts themselves as the beneficiaries, it hurts all of its creators, which is a terrible thing. And you can see no one has positivities of it. That's why we see a lot of streamers. You can see all these streamers, all these big streamers. We've got Ludwig Ogren, one of the biggest streamers who set records for having the highest subs in 1 month. We have Tim the Tapman. We've got Saikuno. We've got Valkyrie. All of these streamers who are pulling these huge numbers and pulling in a lot of revenue for Twitch, they all ended up moving to YouTube gaming, which is actually surprising. Because Saikuno right here, this guy in the bottom right here, he actually just made the announcement he was switching over yesterday afternoon. I added him last minute because it was a big change and it just happened as I was throwing this presentation together, which is insane. But yeah, all of these streamers are moving to YouTube gaming. So a lot of the big hitters that Twitch has are all being moved over to YouTube gaming. And why is that? It's all because I keep messing it up. Is that slide even here? The slide's not here. I had a money slide, but I lost it apparently. But whatever. Yeah, it's all about money, you know? When you look at some of these creators, especially for Ludwig was a creator who I watched for a while, and when he made the announcement that he was switching to YouTube gaming, I was kind of shocked. But then he put out a video where he sort of talked about why he switched over. I don't want to just play the video here because, you know, I don't want to steal things from him, even though he's super big. But the biggest thing he made note of is that when he got the offers from both Twitch and YouTube for streaming on their platform, when he told YouTube that he wanted to stay on Twitch, YouTube offered him better stuff so that way he would move over. And then when Ludwig tried to do the same thing with Twitch, saying they had a better offer and he would move over, Twitch just let him go. Because Twitch has very, very, very low respect for its creators. Twitch has low respect for all of the people who are making them millions of billions of dollars each year, which is an insane thing to say. Your entire platform is based off of supporting these people, and you couldn't care less on whether these people stay or go is insane, because you're losing your revenue source. This is your revenue source here. These 4 people, this is your revenue source, and you're letting them go to a different platform so they can make money for them instead of you. That is insane to me. So yeah. Now the question is, what is going to happen? You know, what is the changes of this all going to be made? Well, to start off, more streamers who stream on Twitch are going to move over to YouTube gaming. It is safe to say, without a doubt, with these new negative changes coming in, and the fact that YouTube is looking for opportunities to pull in new creators, more and more of Twitch streamers are going to become YouTube streamers. That's just without a doubt something that's going to be happening. And I believe that the streaming war is going to reach its peak over the summer, because a big thing about business is the topic of supply and demand, right? Basically, the thought is there are 2 main things for, you know, doing things in a market. There's the supply of the market and there's the demand of the market. Supply is basically how much of that product can the industry put out. Say, for example, we're in a car industry, you know? When you look at all of the car manufacturers, you know, your Chryslers, your Toyotas, your Kias, your whatevers, how much supply can those manufacturers push into that industry? And then the other side of that is the demand. You know, when you have this demand for cars, everybody wants a car, but it's just a matter of when people want to buy that car. So the demand is always shifting and the supply will always be shifting depending on this. When it comes to the summer, which is coming up, the supply and demand is going to reach its pinnacle. Because when they come to that cross, they're going to reach that intersection where supply will be at its maximum because, you know, people are out of school, you know, they've got some time off for the summer, they want to figure out what to do with all their free time. And then you have your demand, which is, you know, this is prime time for a lot of streaming services to pull in a lot of new viewers. So this is time where platforms like Twitch, like YouTube, and even Facebook Gaming, they want to pull all of these people in so that way they can get all of that viewership. So we're essentially reaching the pinnacle of this whole streamer war, or this streaming platform war that we have been seeing for the past 2 to 3 years now. And in order to, you know, come out on top, one of these platforms is going to have to make a change. Someone is going to have to change in order to get that little edge above the opponent. And I've actually listed out what each platform should be doing if they want to get that edge. So we'll start with YouTube Gaming. So for YouTube Gaming, a big thing for them is they need to make their streaming service, and they need to make their streams more visible. Because the big thing about YouTube, when you talk about YouTube, everyone thinks immediately about YouTube videos, because that's what YouTube plasters all over your screen, all in your recommended, all on your For You page, all on the recommended page. Everything there is tailored to their video services, and they have very little support for their streaming services. The only way you can really get those streaming services on your pages and get them tailored to you is if you're following those creators. When you follow those creators, you can see when they're live, and you can see them posting when they want to be live. But for a casual YouTube viewer, there's nothing like that. You know, you actually have to seek out these streams. These streams aren't just going to get recommended to you. So yeah, they need to work on making their streaming service and their streams on the platform more visible. And they need to do things to promote these streams, you know? YouTube has a Twitter account. YouTube has Instagram. YouTube has all these sorts of avenues that they don't use for promotion, which is something that Twitch actually does good. Twitch will take time. They will put together these little compilations and post them on their Twitter, on their Instagram, on their whatever, to show off these streams and show off these streamers, so that way people will be interested and go view them. That's something that YouTube needs to start doing. And it's a big thing too, because I think it was a few weeks ago, Ludwig Ogren, someone who I talked about before, who moved over to YouTube, he actually had a sit down with Susan Wojcicki, the main CEO of YouTube, where he talked to her about streaming services and what he believes needs to happen so that way they can be beneficial. And if Susan was actually listening, then she will work on putting these implementations in. And I'll guarantee making these implementations will guaranteed help the platform. And then for Twitch, it's the opposite. It's not of what they need to do, it's what they need not to do. And the big thing for Twitch not to do is all of this. Like, all of this, it's gotta go. Maybe you can keep the exclusivity as like a little thumbs up, we're trying to do our best. But the rest of this stuff, that's gotta go. Because the only thing this is doing is lining the platform's pockets and not helping creators. And in terms of, you know, marketing, this is not good, because when you have marketing like this saying we're just trying to make money for ourselves, we don't care about the customers or the users of our program, then no one wants to use your business, because all of your business's press is negative. It doesn't matter if you're super profitable or if you have a lot to give out. If you have that negative pull, people are always going to be pushing back, and usually it's more that the masses are going to push back, which is a problem, because that's what you're trying to attack. You're not trying to pull in, you know, big CEOs who don't care about pleasing people. You're trying to pull in the people. So by making these changes, you're actively pushing people away, and you're hurting yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot, because you're trying to make a couple extra dollars. So yeah, they need to not do that. They need to not make those changes. They also need to try and design better promotional events, but not involve monetary elements. Because as I showed before, they've introduced a lot to, you know, sort of help out and promote growth for streamers, but all of it's involving money. Like, sending out all these gift subs, that's a lot of money. You know, hype trains, that's just trying to get people to spend money in a quick way. It's all things that involve your viewers spending money for you. And while yes, that's a big part of Twitch and streaming as a whole, is viewers giving you donations. They shouldn't feel obligated to donate, which is what Twitch is doing. They're plastering all of these flashy things on your screen and saying, hey, if you don't donate, you're going to ruin that hype train. Or if you don't gift subs, you're not going to have this cool sub badge. And it's just negative all around because it's forcing your users to spend money. It's basically a gacha system on a streaming platform. So yeah, if they want to show loyalty to streamers so that way they stay on the platform and stop moving over to Twitch, they have to stop pulling the rug out from them. They have to stop making changes that hurt streamers. And they have to show the streamers on their platform that they care about them. Because if they can't show that, then everybody is going to move over to Twitch, and then everybody on Twitch who stays is going to suffer because of it. Because all of that momentum is all going to YouTube. All of the high viewers are all going to YouTube. So there's going to be no one to hold down the platform of Twitch. And while you may think that might be good for smaller streamers who want to grow, that doesn't matter, because even if people don't want to move over to YouTube and want to stay on Twitch to watch their live streams, they don't want to watch anything because all their favorite creators have moved over. So they're just sitting on Twitch feeling like they have nothing to watch because the one streamer they watch has shifted over to YouTube. So essentially, what this is coming down to is a big ploy of, will Twitch revert these decisions and support their creators? Or will YouTube continue to one-up Twitch and continue to take all of the revenue from them and put them in their own hands? If I had to put a guess on what is going to happen, I think that YouTube is probably going to come out of this on top. I know we say Twitch has the monopoly on streams. Twitch pulls all the numbers. They have all of the resources. They're doing good. I think there's a very high chance that YouTube comes out of this on top. I think once this summer passes, we are going to see a surge for YouTube streaming, and we're going to see Twitch kind of hitting sort of a plateau. Where they hit that sort of plateau, they can't really go up anymore, and the only way to go is down. I think that's what's going to happen. I could be wrong, and Twitch could surprise me by actually doing something that helps out the creators and keeps them on the platform, but in my eyes, I think YouTube's coming out on top. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over this summer. I think I want to keep track of this. I want to keep track on what changes are happening over this summer. And I want to see what Twitch does and what YouTube does and see who's actually coming out on top. That's going to be something that's going to have to watch. As both a streamer and someone who just watches streams, that's something that we all have to watch out for. But with that, that is actually going to end my little presentation here. As a little bonus, I've included a short little homework assignment. I don't know if you guys want to do the homework. It's all optional homework. You don't have to feel obligated to do it, but I thought it'd be something interesting to sort of propose to get sort of your feedback, because you guys have been listening to me go on for half an hour about what I think. I want to know what you guys think. So in terms of your opinions, I want you to either send me a paragraph on Twitter, or you can write a paragraph right now into chat. I want you to talk to me and say, would you ever consider moving to YouTube gaming? Either if you're a streamer yourself or if you're just a viewer. Would you ever want to or decide to move over to YouTube to get all this stuff? Or are you going to stay loyal to Twitch? And are you going to sit down and you're going to stay at Twitch and hope they do better? Or would you be able to move over to another platform? That is the big question that I wanted to ask. And I think it's an important question because the only way to know how all this is playing out is to ask people, to ask streamers, to ask viewers. What do they think about all this? Because I've given you my perspective from both personal and business sense on how all these changes are going to affect us. I want to know what you think and if you would or would not switch over and why. So yeah, that is kind of the end of my little presentation here. That's all I had.